Hello and welcome back to another EDC Sunday. This is the Work Sharp Precision Adjust Knife Sharpener. If you're like me, you have a knife that gets used and abused every single day. This is the one that I take to my full-time job. Unfortunately, this isn't my full-time job, but this is a knife that my son gave me a few years ago. It is a Spyderco Tenacious, and I absolutely love this knife. The utility of it is by far one of my favorites, but like so many of those knives, they get abused. They lose their sharpness. They really take a beating. And when that happens, it's time to sharpen it. So today I'm going to share with you the best way to get this knife back to being sharp. As you can see, yeah, that's pretty shitty. Like I said, I abuse it because I use it every single day for work. I have other knives, but this is probably my favorite for work. So that's why she gets abused a lot. So let me take you into this knife sharpening system that's going to get this thing back to where it needs to be. So first things first, let's talk about the features of the Work Sharp Precision Adjust Knife Sharpener. I don't know why that's such a mouthful for me. I always screw that one up. So I've actually had this sharpener for almost a year, and I've neglected to do a review on it for a very good reason, because I wanted to actually use it and understand how it worked before I put out a video for you. I figured knowing what I was talking about was far more valuable than just showing you something that I think is cool. So, but that's the reason why it's taken me so long to get this video out to you. One of the main things that I like about this is that it breaks down very, very easy. It comes in 4 parts. The first part is the tri-abrasive stone and slide. That comes apart. Then the knife holder comes out, and the base and adjuster come apart as well. So they're actually pretty easy to put together. You just snap it in, snap that in, and from the bottom you put in the tri-abrasive stones. The other great thing is the tri-abrasive stone and slide and the knife holder are all magnetic. So those clip in and are super, super solid when they do. In the kit that I bought, which is the standard kit, you get 1 tri-abrasive stone set. What it has is a 600 diamond grit, and then a ceramic honing stone that you spin around and they lock into place. Because this is the basic kit, this is the only one you get. Now, Work Sharp does offer an upgrade kit for this. And in that upgrade kit, you get 3 additional sets of tri-abrasive stones. You also get a carrying case for all of it. The original kit that I bought for around $80, I think it was, at Bass Pro Shop, but Work Sharp's website lists these for $69.99. The upgrade kit, which comes with 3 additional stones and the carrying case, is an additional $90, I think. So check around, maybe there might be some sales on it that you could get, or even just order straight from their website and see if they've got any specials or deals going on. In full transparency, there actually is now, and has been for a little while, they also offer this and the additional 3 stones and carrying case all as one kit, and their website lists that at about $140. They even offer one that's head and shoulders above even this one, but it does come at a cost. That one is called the Precision Adjust Knife Sharpener. That one has an all metal construction, and again, a set of the tri-abrasives, but a different style. And that one comes in at around 300. So for the budget minded, this is probably your best bet, or the one step up from this, or at least this and your upgrade kit. So, but again, that's your stone and slide. And then with this, you have your knife holder. Your knife goes in, because they got these little pinchers, and then they've even got these two little guides on the side that gives you an idea of where your knife's going to go so that it's accurate. Then you'll clamp it down, and what you want is for the belly of your knife to be pretty much in line with where your slide's going to be. So then you'll put your slide and stone on, and then from there you can go ahead and start sharpening your knife. Another great feature of the Precision Adjust is the knob on top here will allow you to adjust your angle, and it has the angles printed out on the side here. You can even be more precise in between with little hash marks in, I believe it's 1 degree increments across the side there. If you're looking for something that's 15 degrees, you'll come down to the 15 degree mark. If you want something that's a little bit in between there, say 17 degrees, you'll bring it up till you hit one of the other hash marks on this side. If you're unsure of what the angle of your blade is, there is a helpful guide on their website. There is also guides on like Blade HQ, and even the manufacturers sometimes will tell you the approximate grind angle of what your blade is. But if you're still unsure, here's a little tip for you. I'll take a Sharpie and then run that across my blade, so that I'm highlighting that edge. Instead of using one of the sharpening stones, I'll use the honing stone, because the sharpening stones, especially when you go into the heavier grit, they will take off a lot of material. If you're only looking to find out what angle it is, use the honing stone, and that way it'll just take off what you've put on with the marker. And then once you get that, all that marker gone, that will tell you approximately what angle it is. So start at a very shallow depth or a shallow angle, and then start taking off some material. If that's not enough, raise it up and keep going. You'll kind of see whether it's in the front, the middle, or the back as to how you need to adjust it up or down to make sure that you're matching the angle of your cut. I'll show you. So I've already marked my blade. Take the honing stone, set it down on there, and start working it back and forth. Now, from what I can see after doing this for a little bit, I'm only taking off where it is getting into the flat of the blade. I'm not getting into the actual cutting edge. That means that I'm too flat of an angle. Now I need to bring that angle up until I get that whole edge. So that was at 17 degrees. So I'm going to bring it up and we'll try 20 degrees, and we'll see where we're at. And then when you're doing this, you don't want to put a whole lot of pressure on your stone or your slide. You want the stone to do the work and not be too aggressive on it, because you can scar or mar the blade more than you want it to be. You can also take off too much in one section or not enough of another, and you want it to be as even as possible. So you let the weight of the stone and the guide take care of the work. You're just going to be moving it. There's also a few techniques in doing this, whether it's a back motion or a forward motion or a sawing motion. There's even a curve motion where you go along with the blade. Each one has its own set of good and bad. And if you're unsure of which technique you want to use, you can either, one, try it for yourself, or Worksharp has their own YouTube channel where they have tested multiple ways of sharpening blades, and they go into a whole lot more detail than I could, and they'll tell you what they think is probably the best way to sharpen your knife. So check that out, but after the video. So we've done this at 20 degrees, and I think we're taking off enough material now that we've found the angle that I want it to be. But there are a few spots where you can still see some of that red marker I put on. So that's telling me that this is not flat, is not even all the way across. So now I need to take off more material to get it all to that one angle all at the same time. So you can either go to the 600 or the 320. I think I'm just going to go to the 320 and kind of work it until I get that right where I want it to be. And that looks pretty good where we're at. So the great thing with this system is now that you're ready for the other side, instead of having to take your knife out, put it back in, you're not sure if you're getting it in the exact same place or not. So Worksharp has figured out a way for you to get both sides without having to reposition your knife. You push on the back and it just spins over. Now you can mark, which I'm going to. You could mark again to make sure that the angle is the same as the other side, or you can just go ahead and start where you're at and you'll get the same angle eventually. But just to make sure, I'm going to go ahead and mark it. And the reason I'm going to mark it is I know that I've got a chunk out of this blade that I've got to kind of refine and get out. So again, we're going to go ahead and use the 320, and we're just going to work it back and forth just like we did the last time. Now that I've gone over it a few times, I'll show you, and hopefully you can see that. Maybe you can see where the red is for the marker and where I use the stone to take it off. So after using the 320 for a while, now I've brought up a burr on the back side, and I've done both edges, both sides of the knife to bring up a burr on either edge. So now we'll move on to the 600 grit, which is going to help to give it just a little bit finer edge. The other was to basically just take off quite a bit of material at one time. This will help to soften all that out. And then we'll move on to the honing stone. Now, when I was talking earlier about the additional stones, the tribrasive stones that come with the upgrade package, those go to even finer grits up in the 1,000, possibly even higher. I can't remember off the top of my head what their highest grit is. It depends on the mirror finish that you want for your edge that's going to determine what package is going to work best for you. So we'll go ahead and move on to that 600 grit, then on to the honing stone. Now that we've gone over it with the honing stone, now we can release the clamp. Wrong way, wrong way. There we go. And now, I don't know, maybe you can see, You see how I've almost mirrored that edge with that honing stone? That should prove to be a pretty good edge. So we'll see what happens. Now that's considerably sharper than what we started off with. Let's try it again. Oh yeah, super slicey. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Oh man, I'm making a mess and I don't even care. This is just too much fun. That's the kind of knife edge you want. Sorry, that's kind of aggressive. But that just shows you, just with that single stone, what kind of edge you can put on your EDC knife. And if you are an EDC enthusiast like I am, this is probably something you need to add to your arsenal. I just think everybody should have some sort of sharpening and honing device so that they can maintain their knife edge. And a sharp knife is actually a safer knife. I know that sounds the opposite of what it should be, but there is a lot of truth to that. So with that said, I would pick up one of these and use it on every single one of your knives. Smaller knives are going to be a little bit tougher. Other big knives it can do. I've done a kitchen knife, a considerably long kitchen knife, and it seems to work just fine with that as well. If you pick one of these up that you find it as useful as I have. If you already have one of these or the upgrade kit or the one above this, let me know down in the comments what you think of it. If you have another knife sharpening system, then let me know what that is down in the comments as well. So I appreciate every one of you for sticking out this long. I do have more content coming really, really soon, so stick with me. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I upload new videos. And I just want to say that I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. Well, now I got a freaking mess I got to clean up. I can't leave it for the wife. She won't be home for a couple hours, but I suppose I better get it cleaned up before she gets home. Because, yeah, I don't want to hear that argument. All right, thanks, bye.